welcome
to yet another episode of Doctor Who Time and Space with me, Liz Main.
and me, Dada Cool.
Today it's episode
Be cool.
165.
Good.
Good, wow.
We always seem surprised, don't we? Every time.
Even
but,
though I seem to have lost count for some reason.
yeah,
of
it's easy enough to happen, isn't it? When you've
At
got
the
quite as
moment.
many as what we've got. So.
Deco's just doing a little test because
Yeah.
we're
Well, we've had,
using a different microphone.
yeah, that's fine. It's because we've, as you know, we've had a few sort of issues at various different times when we've been doing things. So we just sort of thought we'd play it safe, and everything's fine. What have you been up to this week? Or should we say first of all what's on the show?
We should. Yeah. So it's episode 165, and we are going to be looking at, there's a clue in the title, what would make you stop watching Doctor Who?
Okay. We will also be giving a review of the Peter Capaldi first season classic, Mummy on the Orient Express.
We look at more news, including some exclusive set pics from season 10.
We'll be doing a 3-minute rant each.
And we will be pressing the magic randomizer button.
Randomizer.
Sylvester McCoy style unlimited rice pudding.
Unlimited randomizer.
Rice pudding.
So, Lewis Moon, what have you been up to today? Have you got any news to report? Or this week?
Let's talk about YouTube wise.
Okay.
We've released my review of Reign of Terror.
Yep.
You can see that now, the William Hartnell story. And last week, we did a new Peter Davison 5th Doctor audio adventure called The Human Factor, and you can catch part 2, hopefully coming out later on today.
Maybe, but probably not. By the time we've edited it down and we've uploaded
Tomorrow?
it might be because I'm away, aren't I, tomorrow? So I will try and do it whilst I'm away in Manchester, if I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So possibly tomorrow, if not middle of the week. Oh.
I'm going to say it might be tomorrow.
You reckon?
No.
Yeah.
Because if we downloaded it tonight.
Yeah. It's the uploading bit which is the hard bit because it takes so long to. So we're just talking amongst ourselves, but the fiddly bit isn't actually making things. It's the actually turning it into video files.
Yeah.
I'm sure you all know. You probably make them yourself, but some of that's quite a long, onerous process.
Some of you may relate to that.
So somebody may relate to it, but if we can get it live, we will do.
We will do.
Yeah.
We will.
So yeah, some busy action really, haven't you, on your YouTube account?
Yeah, I'm trying to make more frequent videos at the
Yeah.
moment, and depending on what comes up on the randomizer, there may be a new video this week.
Excellent.
We have had 3 new Who's in a row on the randomizer, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're probably due a classic one, but
We are.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So, what have you been up to? Have you been watching very much this week or not really?
Usual Red Dwarfs and stuff.
Yeah. Have you got to the end?
I don't want to hear that question. It's always every week. I know what you're going to say. No, I haven't.
What, you haven't had a Turkish delight?
No.
That was a bit random, but you haven't done what I was going to ask.
No.
No.
Okay. Regular viewers would know that was meaning I haven't finished Ghostlight yet.
Yeah. How far are you through?
2 parts.
2 parts. Is it tough going, or is it just you've not really had time?
No, it's just stuff I keep forgetting.
Yeah. I've trying to think what I've been doing. Obviously, I've been quite a sort of odd week really. So I've been a bit hectic, but I did actually watch last night. It's not very probably that much interest to a lot of viewers on this show, but I watched The Specialist, which is a spaghetti western. So the first time I've got into so I'm a big spaghetti western fan, and it's the first time I've actually got around to watching one for quite a long time.
Watched that one before?
I have watched it before. Yeah, it's the great thing about The Specialist is it's actually got no English dialogue in it, so it's all in Italian with subtitles.
Okay.
So you really have to concentrate when you're watching it, but it's
I
good.
don't like subtitles on films.
But you get used to it as you get a bit older. You get used to it. But I really like it. It's a good film. But anyway, it's not a spaghetti western podcast. So I won't talk about it too much. But then also the other thing, of course, was the mighty episode 9 of Game of Thrones, which was huge.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, as you're saying, it's still got 10 out of 10, is it, on IMDb?
10 out of 10.
Wowzer. So that's how good it was. But that's about it for me, really. So I haven't watched any Who other than Mummy on the Orient Express, which we'll be talking about a little bit later.
Yeah. And stay tuned for that.
Yeah. So probably, unless you've got any other news to report, it probably takes us on to onto the news, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Now, to be honest, we don't have too big of news. We don't have too much.
We don't, no. Right, I'm saying we don't. I don't really know, but
we have a bit though. Deco, you do know that it started filming this week, didn't it?
It did, yeah. I mean, we don't know whether they've done the Christmas special yet, do we?
No, we don't.
But we're certainly. It seems that they're filming the actual series itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just they're filming the first episode at the moment, which is written by Stephen Moffat.
Yeah. Is it they're actually filming in order? Are they? Do we know? Because last time they filmed it in a really odd order, didn't they?
Well, they're filming the first one first. Yeah. I guess they won't record it all in order.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's how things go. First of all, to do with filming, because all of this week's news is to do with series filming, I think, unless there's been any more news on our other news site. And our first bit is a clip which you can see in the show notes on Mr. Lewis Moon adventures.weebly.com. You can see a clip of Pearl McKee reacting to her first day of set.
Excellent.
Not too exciting, this video.
No, but it's nice to see her there talking, isn't it? She looks really excited, doesn't she?
She does.
So, and it must be quite exciting for her, really, because I mean, she's not particularly well known, is she? She hasn't done that much stuff before.
No. She's done more stage plays, hasn't she?
Yeah, I gather so. Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
So as well as that, they've had some more set pics.
So what we got? So we've got. So for whatever reason, it's snowing, and it looks like we're in the Bristol University site. So
Thursday saw Pearl McKee's first proper day filming on location for Doctor Who Series 10 as new companion Bill. Scenes are currently being filmed at Cathy's Park in Cardiff, which is standing in for St Luke's University in Bristol. It appears that Bill is a student where it is a rather snowy day.
Okay. So we know a little bit more about her backdrop now. So student. I guess we could have guessed that anyway, couldn't we? You can use the mouse there if you need to.
Oh yeah, I could.
Yeah.
So she's carrying some sort of decorative wallpaper.
Yeah, I wonder what that's all about. I wonder how she's going to come in. Let's just contemplate on that a little bit. How do you think she's going to come into it?
What do you mean?
How do you think what do you think will make her have an adventure?
Oh.
Do you think she'll just be unfortunate enough to be on site at a time when, I don't know, an alien invasion happens or something?
Maybe she will be. I mean, we know that she will have an encounter with the Daleks at some point.
Yeah. Do you think that will be in the first episode?
Maybe.
And do you think it will be a main part of the story, or do you think it would just be like an introductory bit?
I don't think that would be where she's introduced.
Yeah.
That scene won't be her first scene.
No.
There were intentions, I think, instead of the clip that they did release over 2 months ago now, with the Friend from the Future clip. The original, I think there were intentions also to release the clip where Bill first goes into the TARDIS, and also her first meeting with the Doctor.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I'd sort of like to see that, but I think it made sense doing the sort of the scene that they did, didn't it? Because
I don't really want to see that yet.
no,
The other scenes.
yeah,
I think if it's going to be like quite funny, her reaction, or something like that,
yeah,
or her first appearance with the Doctor will be quite, something we don't expect, then I don't really want to see. I think the clip that they chose was absolutely perfect.
yeah,
To introduce Bill to an audience.
yeah. I think you're probably right. Yeah. So, do we know anything else about filming? Have we seen any pictures of villains or anything like that?
We've seen some more, but I just want to ask you.
Okay.
From what we've heard and seen so far, what do you think about Bill's? What's your original intake about Bill?
She ticks a lot of the boxes of what I was looking for in a next companion, but she also does have a certain element of Donna about her, and I think it's going to be touch and go whether I like her or whether I find her a bit annoying, but we shall see.
I think she's probably very nice in real life.
Yeah, no, I'm sure she probably is, but it could be that she borders on the annoying for me, but we shall see. It's too early to judge her.
We shall see.
Yeah. If she's like how she was in the introductory one, whilst I thought that was a really good clip, I will find her quite annoying if she's always like mouthy like that.
She might be. Warning!
What's your first take?
I think she's what Doctor Who needs as a companion. Clara, I suppose she'll be more likable and relatable than Clara was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're probably right there, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on the idea. I think it's just purely because I think that there is an element of Donnerisms about her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're having a fight with the front door then, weren't you?
Yeah, sorry about me going for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can see if you don't like her. I can see why.
Yeah, I think she seems likable.
She does.
But we shall see.
We shall see.
There's just a potential she could. If she's a bit like she is in that short clip all the way through, then potentially she could get a bit annoying.
She could do.
But I'm sure she'll be good. She probably is what it needs. It needs something a bit more light.
So another piece of filming news that was released yesterday. First of all, Peter Capaldi has joined new companion Pearl McKee for the filming of the opening episode. Fans will notice that his costume has had a slight tweak, which we will show you in the show notes, which we mentioned earlier on.
And I'm sure his hair's got even more expansive. I think each series, his hair seems to get bigger. Eventually, he's just going to be like if he does like as many series as Tom Baker, there'll just be a thing of hair walking on, like a sort of.
Hello, I'm some Scottish hair.
It's like a bear.
Yeah.
But
what do you think of this new costume?
Can you pull the picture down to the next picture?
Do you think it works for him?
Yeah, it does actually.
Oh God, his hair! Look at its hair there.
It looks quite manic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks quite manic. Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looks less John Pertwee than when his first costume came in.
What do you think about Series 10 so far? What's your opinion on it? I mean, most fans are like not very sure about it.
Are they?
No.
In what way?
They don't think it will be a good series.
No.
No.
I think it could go one of two ways, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I think it could either go out on a big hurrah, and Moffat could have loads of great things up his sleeve, or the other sort of side of it is potentially it maybe he's already used all his best ideas.
And maybe, like we said last week, it might go into Sylvester McCoy's sort of darkness.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, we'll come on to it a little bit later when we talk about Mummy on the Orient Express. But that's a really good example of when they get the excitement and things from who right.
Yes.
And I'd like if you had a series of that sort of type stories, then I think it would be fantastic.
It would be.
But we definitely don't want a Greatest Show in the Galaxy Part 2. Or Sleep No More Part 2.
In some scenes, Bill is wearing the same costume as she is in her introductory clip, Friend from the Future, which is interesting. So the scenes they must be filming at the moment must be with the Dalek scene.
It could be, couldn't it? Yeah, which would seem to indicate that we're going to get a Dalek episode as first part. First episode, maybe.
I think we might do. We'll definitely have one Dalek episode, I think.
Has any of the companions before met the Daleks in their first episode? Not counting Clara, because that was a bit of an odd one.
What, New Who or all of them?
Full stop.
Victoria.
Of course, yeah. Thinking.
Yeah, thinking.
Thinking.
I
couldn't think of anyone, but
Stephen, I think.
Oh, really?
Peter Purpose. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of any others.
But we've seen a few scenes, but we've not seen any villains or anything like that yet, have we? Other than the Daleks from the introductory clip.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what to expect yet.
We don't.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Paul McKee has been filming scenes featuring Bill's university friend, Heather, who is going to be played by guest star Stephanie Hyam, who we mentioned in our news article last week alongside Matt Lucas.
Oh, okay.
So
bound to get obliterated, bound to get exterminated, I would suggest.
She is. During Thursday night's filming, though, Heather was acting rather strangely. And it says on the tweet, Stephanie Hyam is possessed by the water. Bill runs away terrified.
That sounds interesting, doesn't it? Yeah.
And she looks terrified there in that picture.
She's got very... this is Pearl again we're talking about here.
Yes.
But she's got quite an expressive face, hasn't she?
She has.
So, yeah, it'd be interesting.
Mm.
So, do we have any other news on the filmings coming to going? I mean, what is probably quite clear is we're going to start seeing a lot more of this now, aren't we? I would think.
Yeah, we are.
Will be a little bit more packed.
I think we will get more filming stuff as well.
Yeah.
So a little while ago, a couple of months ago, I believe it was, we discussed the new Bernie Summerfield audio, which is coming in August, called Unbound. Which follows the series of 8 in 2003, I believe it was.
Okay.
With Unbound doctors and stuff. Details have now been revealed as well as cover art for this series.
What does it mean by Unbound? What are we thinking of?
The Unbound universe.
What does that mean? Do we know?
It means like an alternate universe, because it says in this description, the wrong doctor, the wrong universe, a whole heap of trouble. Bernie Summerfield is having a really bad day.
Okay.
So James Goss is writing the first story, The Library and the Body. Guy Adams is writing the follow-up, Planet X. Una McCormack is writing number 3, The Very Dark Thing. And the final installment is written by Emma Reeves and is The Emporium at the End. It's directed by Scott Hancock and it's starring Lisa Bowerman as Professor Bernie Summerfield, David Warner as the Doctor, and Sam Kingsart as the Master, as well as loads of other guest stars.
So, sorry, I
Finish.
might miss something here, but David Warner's the Doctor.
Yeah.
Which Doctor does he play?
What do you mean?
Which incarnation of the Doctor does he play, or is it a completely different character? Is it literally because they're in an unbound universe?
Yeah.
It's a Doctor we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
It is a
All right,
different
interesting.
Doctor. He's been in Big Finish before.
Okay.
So fans of the Big Finish and Bernice and the Unbound series would be familiar with the David Warner Doctor. And you may be familiar with him as the Doctor from Adventure in Space and Time.
Okay.
No, wait, that was David Bradley, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was David Bradley.
David Warner's been in it before, hasn't he?
Yeah. I'm not very good on my names. Well,
I'm typing him in.
perhaps also something you could explain, and we might have had this conversation before, but have we? Should I know who Bernice Summerfield is?
She's from the books.
Ah, right. Okay.
Book series.
Okay.
Oh, he appeared in the Cold War.
Okay, he was the professor. Yeah.
He's been in. Isn't he in Game of Thrones?
Maybe. I'm not very good at recognising people. Don't know. David Bradley has been.
Yeah. Oh, I might be thinking
Yeah.
of him. I'm getting those guys confused.
Yeah. No, sounds good. So
I think that's all we have for news today.
that's all the news. Just 2 items.
3.
3 items. Was it? What was the third?
We
trying to
had
think.
2 bits of filming.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
And
I'd combined them into one.
pardon?
I'd combined them into a single
Yeah.
filming item.
Well, we don't have not much news necessarily this week, but
Well, that's okay. That gives us more time to think about our main
the
subject.
news only. I was thinking at the beginning of the week that we were going to have to think of something to replace the news this week because at the beginning of the week it didn't look like for the first until Thursday it didn't look like we were going to have any news at all this week.
No, that's right.
So
actually, so far we've done quite well, haven't we? We've not had a no news day at all.
No, I mean we are big Finish people here now. So please check out Big Finish because they've got a load of deals on the other worlds of Big Finish.
Okay.
Not Doctor Who ranges. Apart from Bernice Summerfield, there's a lot of ranges on Bernice Summerfield that are on sale. So get over to the Big Finish website, check out the deals from this week.
So they're obviously trying to expand the audience bases of some of these other ones. So I think it's still predominantly a Who thing, isn't it?
It is predominantly. It's most famous for its Doctor Who range, I think.
Although actually, I downloaded 2 2000 AD ones.
Cool.
I've downloaded. I can't remember what the names of them were, but a Strontium Dog one starring Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
And a Judge Dredd one.
Okay.
So I'll let you know what they're like.
What's the Judge Dredd one? Who's it?
I can't remember who's playing Dredd, but Nicola Bryant's in it.
Is she?
Yeah. So I look forward for that. Sounds good.
Yeah. Who did you? Oh yeah. Who did you say was playing Strontium Dog?
Simon Pegg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 2 great characters.
2 great characters.
Yeah. Classic. The Strontium Dog actually was always my favourite in the old
he?
days. Yeah. In 2000 AD. Okay, should we move on to our first feature then?
Yes, okay then. So our feature this week is what would make you and us stop watching Doctor Who? Our favourite television show, or certainly mine.
Okay, yeah.
What would make us stop watching it?
Okay. So let's think about, I mean, the first one for me would be if there's 2 eras of Doctor Who that I would not want it to return to.
Okay, Sylvester McCoy,
The early Sylvester McCoy period where it was really slapstick, and the Donna period.
Can you explain these 2, please, for the audience members that may not be recognised of our hatred of your hatred of these eras?
The Sylvester McCoy early years, and it was nothing against Sylvester.
I mean, his greatest series are really good.
But the first series in particular just had a lot of really tosh stories, didn't it?
It did.
The
You've never seen any of them though.
I've seen enough of them. I've seen enough to make me realise I don't want to watch them.
I've seen Time and the Rani and Paradise Towers, and they're
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Really terrible.
And that's what it is. It's just got a certain naffness about it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of period of
Paradise Towers is one of the worst stories ever. It may even be worse than Fear Her.
Yeah.
Okay, it is worse than Fear
Is
Her.
it?
Yeah.
I think it's the thing is with that era is that it was dumbed down to such an extent. It became really childish, didn't it?
Yeah,
And,
it did.
As a result of that, it's just in my mind, it borders on unwatchable. In terms of the Donna period, I'm sort of fighting against the wind here, but because I know that it's a lot of people's favourites.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I just struggled with the whole relationship between the Doctor and Donna. I just found them a bit annoying when they were together.
Okay. Well, personally, I think maybe it would be all right to return to the Doctor, to the series 4 sort of attitude, because maybe it could get more viewing figures.
Well, there is that
because people really like that era. It did become a audio drama recently, as many fans of the show recently know.
I guess the thing is, isn't it? I mean, the question is, what would make you stop watching it? So actually, although it said what would make me stop watching it, I don't suppose they'd be overly upset if I stopped watching it if lots of other people were instead.
I mean, if you think about the era with Sylvester McCoy in, that's one era which probably nobody wants it to return to.
Yeah, I would think so.
I really, really think that's the worst series ever.
Yeah.
Meaning we don't want to return to that sort of era.
Yeah.
I won't mind if it goes to anything other, I suppose. I mean, there are darker eras than that of Series 4.
What about... Okay, I mean, there's a few things and a few other things I could pose to you.
Yeah.
So we've both said that however much we liked the last series, that we thought it needed to lighten up.
Yes.
What about if it didn't and it just carried on getting darker and darker?
Well, you see, the thing is, since Peter Capaldi's become the Doctor, they have lost millions of viewers. The people who have watched it still love it, but the people who have stopped watching it, if it gets darker, more people will stop watching it. And it will just get into a point when nobody watches Doctor Who. And it will get too, you know...
I'm not 100% convinced, though, that is totally as a result of the way the series has been going. I think a lot of it is just there's so much stuff out there now, and with the... with things like Netflix and Now and stuff like that, there's so many good series being produced that I think there's just more competition.
There is.
So I think whoever was in that position would be struggling a little bit. But I do think it probably, particularly if you get like the really talky episodes, it must be quite hard going for a lot of people.
I mean, we know that Series 9, some of it was very popular to fans. I.e. Heaven Sent, Zygon Inversion, that was quite popular.
Yeah.
And there were others which weren't so popular. Sleep No More, Hellbent, a few like that, which weren't very popular. I mean, we loved Hellbent here.
Yep.
But we know fans didn't. Do you think that there can be anything that no, let's change my question.
Okay.
Because of Series 10, there's rumours it could be a bit lighter.
Yeah.
Do you think that, like it getting too dark, do you think it getting too light could also ruin it, and what's the difference between it becoming too dark and too light, and which one would you rather it became?
I would much rather it became too dark because I like the darker elements.
Probably me too.
I don't like the light-hearted one. I even the humour and things full stop. I tend to find.
What about in the lodger and
Para
3 last week?
It works very occasionally. The Para 3 worked really well in as well. There's a couple of bits in it where I think the humour was a bit too silly, but in most cases it worked fine.
Yes.
But what you want with Doctor Who is you want a bit of a mixture, don't you? You don't want it to be really dark or really light.
No, you don't.
Week in, week out. You want to have moments that go one way and moments that go another way.
You do. So,
how about then the concept of a female Doctor? Would that
okay, I was just about to mention this. I don't know whether it would stop me watching it, but I think it would be too odd. We talked about this numerous times, and in our 3-minute rant, we talked about it once. I don't think having a female Doctor would work. I think it would be too weird. There were rumours before Peter Capaldi was announced that Miranda Hart was going to become the Doctor. And that would never work.
No.
I suppose if you had a great actress or something, it would work. And of the Time Lords, I'm okay with Missy.
Yeah.
I'm okay if the Rani turned into a man. But I just think it wouldn't work if the Doctor was another sex or being.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I mean, say, what would you think if the Doctor became like
a dog?
A dog, yeah. I was just about to say that. A dog. What?
Do you know they call it Doctor Who?
Yeah, that's clever. We need to create an audio series called Doctor
Who. Yeah, so I tend to agree with you on that. I think it would, in the end, it would be one where it might put you off, but actually, if they get the casting right and it's really good, then I don't suppose it would bother you.
I mean, who would work?
I don't know. I always find it difficult.
Yeah, I always find.
I don't even know who people are most of the time.
It's a difficult decision, I suppose. I would never be a casting director because it's a difficult decision to make your mind up on predictions on who you think should become the next Doctor.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And of anything really, like this.
I think the next Doctor, I know we're going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I think the next Doctor will be completely different than Peter Capaldi. He'll be a very light Doctor.
I think they'll be casting a black person.
I think they probably would do as well.
Yeah.
But I think regardless, I think it would be somebody that's very light-hearted.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll be going for another dark one. Not by in any ways being critical of Capaldi, because Capaldi's great. But I think they will want to have a completely different edge to it, particularly if it's with the new showrunner.
Do you think we would get more fans if we included? Do you think Doctor Who would get more fans if it included more diversity?
No.
No.
I don't.
No. I mean, do you think the black community would be happy? I mean, imagine if we got a gay Doctor or an LGBT Doctor, you know?
I think, I don't actually think in the great scheme of things that any of that would make too much of a difference.
No.
I think in the end, a lot of it is depending on what the stories are like. If the quality of the stories is good, then I think it will capture it. What about, I was thinking off the top of my head then. What about writers? What do you think in terms of writers?
What do you mean?
I mean, if the quality of the writing went downhill, so even if you've got like a great Doctor, but
I think writing would be a problem if it went down. I think we've got some great writers at the moment in the Doctor Who universe.
But if there was another series which was as light-hearted as that first Sylvester McCoy year, and you had like Greatest Show of the Galaxy Part 2 and stuff like that, would you bother watching it?
I think it would be getting a bit too silly. I mean, if they run out of ideas,
Yeah.
it will just be mad. And if they start doing that, they might as well just stop Doctor Who.
Would there be a situation where, however much you like the series, if there was a companion you found really, really annoying?
Like Donna with you.
Yeah. Do you think you could ever find a character that annoying that would stop you from watching it? I mean, you were watching Red Dwarf, weren't you? And you were talking about how annoying the woman character Kachansky was in that.
Yeah.
So if you had a similar sort of thing happen in Doctor Who, could it be that annoying? If Mal came back, for instance, could it be that annoying that you wouldn't want to watch it anymore?
I don't know whether it would stop me watching it. I'd get irritated.
Yeah.
And I'd probably not really like the episodes.
Yeah.
But you know, there would be some people also in the world who would agree with me, aka everyone.
Yeah.
Because nobody likes Mal.
Yeah. Okay.
Screamy pants screamson.
Have you got any other thoughts on this topic? I don't think there's very much that would stop you from watching it.
I mean, as a dedicated Doctor Who fan, it would be hard to create something. And this podcast is very well established now. We've,
going some time.
Been going
160 whatever it
165 episodes. Still going.
Mm-hmm.
Wittering on for 1 hour every day. I mean every week. And we are true Whovians because we're doing that.
Yeah.
And I think it would be very hard to introduce something that would make us stop watching it. I mean, we've mentioned a few things which would, but there aren't many things which would make us stop watching Doctor Who.
No, I think that's right.
And Doctor Who has quite a big fandom in the whole of the world. I think it will go for a little longer. They may run out of ideas at some point. And, if they cancel it, will probably be for the better if they create Greatest Show in the Galaxy 2.
Excellent. That was a good discussion.
Yes.
Can you remember what the discussion is next week? I can't. I know you started making a list of them, didn't you? But...
I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
Google
What's your
Docs.
there we
go.
Well, see how quickly it comes up.
See how quickly it should come up very quickly.
Like loud silence and loud silence. You can't have loud silence.
That's impossible.
Yeah. I don't like long silence. That's probably better.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So what have we got? What have we got next time?
This is wrong bit.
Okay.
This is too high. Buffering.
I'm thinking that the more news we get over the next few weeks, it might also prompt a few other discussions, and then we'll probably at some point have a what do we think is going to happen in the series?
We will. That'll probably be a bit closer, but Okay, so we're going to be looking at what characters would suit a different environment than the one that they actually were in.
Okay.
For example, classic companions in a New Who environment, or what companions or characters or doctors even would work in a different era and which ones wouldn't.
Brilliant. And we'll look forward to that one then.
So that'll be interesting, a bit different.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
as you may guess, we're running out of ideas for features.
Yeah, well, we'll come up with some.
We will.
So, that's finished on that particular item?
Yes, it is.
So that brings us on to the next chunk of the show,
review,
which is the review.
Which this week, the randomizer picked out 12th Doctor Classic Mummy on the Orient Express for us.
Yep.
Which we'll give our opinions. Deacle, do you have a synopsis? on
That's
this
an upside. Yeah, I
for us.
So this episode it follows on from the end of Kill the Moon, where at the end of that episode there'd been this real big bust up between the Doctor and Clara. Really, because Clara felt angry. I think the Doctor
Yeah.
had left her in a position where she had the whole of humanity in her hands, really, didn't she? As to
Yeah.
whether or not she saved them or didn't. Um, her boyfriend Danny Pink's been urging her to stop travelling with him,
Yes.
and basically they decide, as in Clara and the Doctor decide to go on one last hurrah, and the TARDIS appears on the Orient Express.
Except you can never get rid of Clara Oswald, can
No.
you?
But it's a space-bound train rather than the Orient Express that we would have seen
Yeah.
previously. Starts out with a really great scene where we see an elderly lady, Mrs. Pitt, who witnesses a mummy attacking her.
Yeah.
There's a timer running down, 66 seconds, and she's the only person that's actually seen it. So the Doctor arrives not long after this. He's posing as a mystery shopper, and there's some funny jokes about that, isn't there? There's a character called Perkins, who's the train's engineer.
Played by Frank Skinner.
Yeah, and he's also been trying to investigate the death, but it's not the sort of last death, is it?
No, it isn't.
We start seeing a number of them, and then gradually, the Doctor starts piecing together some of the evidence, and he starts linking it with an old myth around the mummy
Yes.
called about the myth of the foretold.
Yes.
And that basically has that very thing happen where they've got 66 seconds.
If you bear the foretold stare, you have 66 seconds to live.
There we go.
Yeah.
And what we sort of discover probably about halfway through the episode, maybe it's a little bit later than that, is that there's some major experiment going on the Orient Express, and they pulled together a whole load of experts to try and solve the mystery of the foretold.
Yeah.
That's probably enough of a little plot
synopsis.
outline. What do you make of it?
I think this is one of the most watchable episodes from Peter Capaldi's era.
Yeah.
A very watchable one. A great episode, I think. It's one of the best, if not, one of the best from season 8, I believe. A true classic, very original ideas set in this one. And this is where we found out how great a writer Jamie Matheson was.
Yeah.
As he also wrote Flatline, the episode after this, which is also a great and original episode.
There's so much to love in this episode, isn't there?
There is.
The storyline's really good. I don't know anything about the foretold. I'm assuming it is a real myth. I've never looked.
I don't know.
By the way they were talking about it, I would envisage that it probably is, and perhaps we'll have a look at it later.
Maybe we will.
But the whole sort of scenario they find themselves in is really great. It's got a sort of like a murder mystery sort of edge to it, hasn't it? Like the original sort of Murder on the Orient Express sort of thing. The actual foretold itself is really great.
It is. It's a great design.
Yeah.
To a monster.
The characters in it really strong, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you only meet a handful of them, and you've got a few people in the background, like the guy that looks like Einstein. But the handful of characters you get to sort of see, they're not necessarily likable, all of them, but there's a good little bit of story behind each.
There are. Let's talk a bit about Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last week, it was announced that Nardole, played by Matt Lucas, would return.
Yeah.
And last year, Rixie, played by Jovian Reid, came back as Rixie. Do you think Perkins warrants a return more than those two that I mentioned? Because there's a lot from his character that we didn't really see.
Yeah.
like Gus, I suppose.
I was going to mention that. I think actually this episode has a handful of things in it which are never fully explained, and whether or not they ever do, or whether we just left it up in the air with them. But you had Perkins was one of them. A very interesting character. It made you. He was obviously a lot more clever than you would expect the engineer on the ship to
Yeah,
be.
he was.
He'd already been started to investigate the things around the mummy,
Mm.
and in many ways he's got a sort of. It wouldn't surprise me if he was actually a Time Lord or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's something we don't know about Perkins. There's something a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
And I think he would have been a more interesting character to come back than Matt Lucas.
Yeah.
So.
What about Gus then? Because what we do find out is that Gus had been trying to get the Doctor to go along to the Orient Express previously.
Yeah. I mean, Gus is a really good character, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't think we will ever find out who Gus is.
I'm not sure we will either. But I mean, Stephen Moffat generally does tend to eventually.
He does.
Sort of fill in all the gaps.
Maybe he will at the end of this era. I don't know.
I mean, if it works in the same way as it did with his run with Matt Smith, there was a lot of things in the final episode, weren't they? In the Christmas episode, which related back to the first few episodes.
Like the crack, we found out what that really was.
So it might be saving it all up for his big final hurrah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you think about Peter Capaldi's Doctor in this episode? Because personally, I think Peter Capaldi's Doctor is great, and in this episode, he was brilliant as the Doctor.
Yeah. But I think part of that, because I think Capaldi's brilliant all the time, but I think this particular episode is just so well crafted. It's a perfect Who episode, really, because it's not stupid. It's got a lot of excitement in it. Really good dialogue. Really great moment when he opens up his cigarette case and it's got jelly babies in it.
Yeah. I mean, I love Peter Capaldi's Doctor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good character, I suppose.
What about what did you make of Clara in this one?
I thought she was quite good in this one. Played by Jenna Coleman.
There's a really good context by the fact that obviously we're coming on the back of the previous story, which I've forgotten what it's called now. Kill the Moon. Yeah. Where by the end of it she really hated the Doctor.
Yeah.
Here, she doesn't want to hate him because she really likes him, really, doesn't she? And she likes him in the adventures.
Does.
But then you get to the point where she starts to really believe that he's quite callous, I think.
Yeah.
And that he's quite happy to let people die. Whereas, in actual fact, he's not callous at all. The Doctor, there's nothing he wants less than to let people die.
No.
What he's trying to constantly do, though, is be a realist on it. And there's times where it's too late, he can't do anything to stop it. So if that's the case, then he just works to try and save the next one. And that comes over really clearly, I think, in this.
It does.
Yeah.
Any other characters or anything that you want to say about?
I don't think so. I think that probably sums up everything.
We have done a review of Mummy on the Orient Express, a 20-minute review.
Yeah.
And if you want to see that, that's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah. Be interesting to see how our thoughts changed on it.
Differed.
I think it's an episode. You know when on the fan show, they have that little spin-off video where they ask a number of questions, and one of them is what would be the episode that you'd watch on a rainy day. To me, this is one of those episodes that you could stick on at any time.
Yeah, it was. Personally, my answer to that question would be The Lodger, but this is one of them.
Yeah,
I think quite high.
So. It's probably The Lodger because it's really light-hearted. This one isn't light-hearted.
No,
is it?
but it's very watchable.
But it's very watchable, and I could quite easily watch that one again.
A great episode.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on to scores?
Yeah, let's do the scores.
So, Monsters, The Foretold.
Foretold's brilliant. I'm going to give it a 9 because it just looks fantastic. Great concept and a really clever ending.
It is. Character development.
some really good character development. Again, I'll give it a 9 because I think it explores the whole relationship between the Doctor. I think it's some of the best character development they've done. I'd say the whole sort of issue of whether or not he's sort of callous or whether he's just a realist, I think is really good.
Pace.
I'm going to stick my neck out here and I'm going to give it a 10 for pace.
Ooh.
Because I think the pace in that episode is fantastic. It's just what a one-parter should be.
And excitement.
I'm going to give it a 9 for excitement.
Okay.
What else have we got?
We apologise for that, sorry. We have 37 out of 40 for our actual score.
Okay.
And then what would you rate it out of 10 overall?
Over 10. It's bordering on a 10 actually. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
I'm going to give it a... What does this get? It gets a 9.6.
9.6, eh?
9.6.
Part of me thinks that it's possibly the best episode in Series 8. I
still believe Darkwater is my favourite.
Yeah. I think when you look
Only
at it,
that part. But...
Yeah. But, I mean, it was always Listen was my favourite, but I think that's a lot of that is because first time round, it's really great. I think the difference with The Mummy is that it's one you can watch over and over again.
Yes.
So, does that mean that we switch to our magic randomizer?
Yes. Okay, so
it's that exciting time of the show where we mobilise the randomizer. For anyone that hasn't seen the show before, the randomizer is a spreadsheet with every Doctor Who episode ever in it.
Yes.
We press that little macro button and it will randomly pluck one out, which we will watch and talk about next week.
Okay, let's go.
Will it be New Who? Will it be Old Who? Let's see. Okay, cannot run the macro. Oh, right, okay. Right, I will just try and mend that a second. So, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe because I have no idea how to get that to work again. Okay. Oh, interesting. Let's close that and open it again. Right, bear with us a sec.
Bear with us, bear with us, bear with us. We should be there for you in a second.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, we'll just see what one it picks up for us.
Yeah, that's true. We could always do that. We could always go for whatever one it opens up with.
And if it's one we've already watched, we'll go for the one that we've just...
Here we are. Let's open that. Right, enable this content. Blah, blah, blah. Right, Here we go.
Right, so okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
Okay, I don't even know what this one is. It's a New Who one, isn't it?
It is a New Who one.
So, another New Who one, which means that gives you a chance to do a video again later on in the week.
It's interesting what you're going to think of this one, because it's one which people aren't too fond of.
Okay.
It's Planet of the Dead.
So which Doctor? Is this a David Tennant one?
David Tennant.
Which series is that?
It's in specials.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's got Michelle Ryan in. You know, You Ain't My Mother. You know. From EastEnders.
Oh right, okay. I can't
You Ain't My Mother, woman.
I can't think of that is, but
yes, I am. You know. That's what she's famous for.
What's the villain in this one?
Is those?
It's the big spider thing.
No. Wait.
I don't know anything about it. I recognise the name. I knew immediately it was a David Tennant one, but I don't know too much about this one at all. So
let's see. Right.
Regardless, it's what is it? We've got enough to be able to watch that next Saturday, haven't we?
Yeah. It's a bit longer.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are in it.
Oh, cool.
Those are the main villains.
Zoe from EastEnders.
Yeah, You Ain't My Mother.
Right, okay. Oh, I look forward for that then. Brilliant. So there we have it. That's what the randomizer selected.
So Planet of the Dead next week.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what you think of that. I personally quite like this one.
Okay.
But lots of fans don't, as I say.
Okay.
So interesting.
Good. All right. Well, we've got one final part of the show.
Yeah. Can you get your timer ready, please?
Can I get? I've got a timer.
Or if not, I can use it.
Yeah.
I've got
You got a timer?
timer
Okay.
on
Let's
here.
grab a timer then. Actually, I haven't thought what your rant's going to be about yet.
Who's going first?
Probably me to go first. I think, isn't it? I think you select one for me
Yes,
this time round.
I do. I have to think of one.
Yeah, I did have one though. Anyway, see, we're very organised, aren't we? We sort of, need to write them down really, because
Yeah.
3-minute rant. I might your 3-minute rant might be about 3-minute rants maybe, but we'll see. But it's a new bit of the show which we've not been doing for very long, so we're still.
We haven't.
Still
It's
messing about
round
with
4.
it. Round
So-
4.
I think I've got one for you, and it's going to be something about a different media of Doctor Who.
Okay.
So let's see. Where's my timer? Timer clock.
So basically, the idea of this is that we both set each other a question, and we have to talk about it for 3 whole minutes. Trying our best. Usually, I'll try and cough or things like that to fill out a little bit of time. We'll see how we go.
So this one's going to be a bit interesting. See whether you can fill it for 3 minutes.
Okay.
But what do you think Doctor Who Big Finish should do next?
Ooh, crumbs, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Okay.
okay, I'm ready
Whenever
to
you're
go.
ready,
Yeah,
say
okay.
now.
Now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should have started. Okay. So what would they do? What would they do next? I think there's a couple of things that would be interesting to do. I think I'll tell you what I think would be a really good series is to actually look at those companions that are still alive and to follow what happened to them after their time with the Doctor. Now we've seen to a certain extent what we had with Sarah Jane, with the Sarah Jane Adventures. Let's see the same sort of scenario with, say, Turlo or Ian, or I find it hard to believe that if they've been exposed to all of those adventures that they've had throughout their time with the Doctor, could they ever really go back to a normal existence? Because those sort of creatures in the universe would be aware of them, and presumably some of them might even try and hunt them down or whatever. And also they surely they'd love that buzz of excitement that they had, and therefore they'd be searching for that. So I think that's one thing I think would be a really interesting concept to explore. I think it'd be good as well to do more in the lines that they've tried of the old Doctors with new Who villains. I think that's a really interesting concept.
Doing a second series of those.
Okay, yeah. So I think that's a really interesting idea. Something else that might be quite interesting as well might be some crossovers, maybe. So what could they have where the Doctor sees other characters? Like, for instance, there's always been a talk about the Doctor Who Sherlock crossover, but they could probably do that with some of the characters, couldn't they? So that
they have done a Sherlock Doctor Who crossover.
Oh, have they? Okay, right. So there we are. So what else could they do? I mean, it's more the same, isn't it? I think that the whole thing with the whole idea of Doctor Who is that you can never really run out of ideas from it because of the fact that you can just stick the Doctor in anything, and whatever sort of story, whether it's a comedy or a serious thing or a horror film or whatever, the Doctor Who character will work in any one of those. So I think that there's nothing really stopping Big Finish. They can delve in with anything they want, and let's hope that they continue, because the whole idea of Big Finish is very, very good. Well done, Big Finish, and hopefully well done me for just about making it to 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Thank you and good night.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, can you time me?
Yeah, so that's my 3-minute
Just
rant.
press the play button when I'm ready.
The play button there. Yep.
So
that
what's
one,
my?
that one there? Yeah.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
but-
This is an interesting one for you.
Okay.
Now this could be quite difficult for 3 minutes, so we'll see how we get on.
Okay.
What do you think would have happened with Doctor Who if William Hartnell had not been too ill to carry on?
What if he'd stayed?
Yeah. So the whole thing of they decided to put the regeneration in
Yeah.
to get round it. What do you think would have happened if they had never come up with the regeneration idea?
Okay.
Do you reckon you could do that for 3
Yeah.
minutes?
Okay.
Okay. Your time starts now.
It would never have carried on. The end. No, that's not the end. We have to do 3 minutes of it. But 3 minutes. That's going to be hard. But the first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, regenerated in the first Cyberman story, The 10th Planet. Now, this idea was created by the showrunners at the time. You know, all those people behind our favourite television show, and if those people had never thought of this idea, then Doctor Who probably would never have carried on. I mean, William Hartnell saw its success whilst he was alive. He saw that Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee had much success in their tenures, and Doctor Who got ever more successful at this sort of point. And if they didn't use regeneration, we wouldn't have Doctor Who today, I believe. Doctor Who would have only lasted 5 years, like William Hartnell said it would originally run for. We would never have had great doctors like Tom Baker and stuff like that. And we'll talk next week about a little bit about what characters would suit a different environment than the one that they were in. And I think this would be very interesting, because I suppose we would maybe not have had Sarah Jane as a companion. Say we wouldn't have had Big Finish, I suppose. We wouldn't have had all the successful series, Titan comics and stuff. We wouldn't have had Doctor Who popular in America, Germany, Canada, and all across the world. And we wouldn't have had a modern fan base like we would have had today. Doctor Who wouldn't have run without regeneration, and it's a miracle that they created it, and it's such a good idea. And if they hadn't, it just would have been the end. We wouldn't be chatting and blabbering on about this feature, this thing, if it wasn't for William Hartnell regenerating, because it wouldn't have ever happened, so we wouldn't be sitting here chatting about it. There
we go. 3 minutes exactly. Well done, because that was a very hard topic.
Yes, I tried to last it as best as possible.
There's a point when you started talking about countries that it was really popular in, and I was thinking, are you actually going to reel off a minute's worth of country names? But I mean, what would be quite interesting is to know that whether they ever considered just getting somebody else to play the role.
Yeah,
Because
I know.
That could have been interesting.
I mean, Peter Cushing. Imagine if they just did movies.
But it would have been completely different, wouldn't it? Because if they'd have done that, you would probably found they would have just constantly gone for people that were like William Hartnell. So rather than actually using it as an opportunity to explore different characters of the Doctor, you would have had an old man.
You would have done.
So it was
crotchety man.
It was an ingenious idea, and let's face it, it's still lasting today.
Yeah, it's what spanned Doctor Who's over 50 year time.
So I think that probably, if I'm right, brings us to the end of the show, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So what do we have on next week?
We are going to be looking at it's episode 166, by the way. We're going to be looking at the characters from Doctor Who in different environments than the ones they were in. Also, what else do we have?
We'll be doing another round of Who to Face.
We have a review of Planet of the Dead.
We'll be pressing the magic randomizer.
And we will have, hopefully, some more news and views. Hopefully more than this week. Or
maybe, I think it will start coming out now, won't it?
Yeah, hopefully.
So keep your eyes peeled on Lewis's YouTube channel. Hopefully there'll be some videos.
Yes.
More videos appearing on there. And that's probably about it.
Yeah, it is. So we will see you next time. Same time.
Same space.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.